Hello, welcome or welcome back. If you're a first time viewer or a return viewer, I know I'm very close up, but that's because I have lately, let me explain that. I've been getting into letter subscriptions. If you saw the first one I had posted, it was romantically written, and those letters the video I created, I'll link that video at the end of this one. But essentially what it is those ones are more like Jane Austen Regency era kind of thing. These subscriptions, it's 3 in total that I will include in this video, is 2 of them are from the same company and one is from the other one's from a different one. Now the one is that come under the same umbrella of the company is called American Heritage. What American Heritage, like I said, it is a letter subscription. There are 2 subscriptions, and both of these subscriptions has a printed version, which I will show you. These are the 2 letters, and they also have a digital version. So I'll give you a little info on the American Heritage, or the Heritage letters. American Heritage letters? I forget. Sorry. Okay, so the Heritage letters is from the 15th of the month to the 14th of the next one. They charge you on the 15th of every month. There is free shipping to any U.S. address, and this does include P.O. boxes. They do mail internationally. Now, how they didn't give an exact price. Essentially how they, I guess, describe the international shipping post is you have to pay the difference between the U.S. and international stamp. So I guess if you're interested and you sign up and you're from another country, when you sign up they'll tell you what the postage difference is and you'll pay that. The print subscription, there's the monthly, of course, which is $6, and then if you do a 3-month right off the bat, you'll pay $5.80 per month for those 3 months. If you do a 6-month subscription, it's $5.75 per month, and if you do the whole year, it's going to be $5.50 per a month. Now, I did say there's digital. The digital, I think you do get the same things that you would get in print, but you get in digital. So that one runs from the 18th through the 17th, and they charge on the 18th. The digital is cheaper, obviously, because you're not, I'm assuming paper postage, you save money on that. So it's $4 a month, month to month. If you do the 3 months, it's $3.85. If you do the 6 months, it's $3.75, and you do the year, is $3.50. Now the prices is going to be like the print. Obviously, the more you sign up, the cheaper it is per a month. So for 3 months, you'll pay $3.85 for 3 months in advance already per month. So that's how that one works. The second subscription that falls under that is the American Heritage Adventure letter. This one runs from the 1st through the last day of the month. They charge on the 1st. Again, free U.S. shipping if you have an American address. They do international shipping, same thing. You pay for the price difference between the U.S. and the international stamp. And for the print on this one, it's going to be $5.50 a month, or $5.35 per month if you sign up for 3 months in advance, or $5.25 if you pay for 6 months in advance per month, or $5. Now the digital subscription would be $3.50, $3.35 for 3 months, $3.25 for 6 months, or $3 for a year. So that would be $36 for the whole year. Now, I'm going to read the premise behind both of these. Let me pull it up. Okay, so the American Heritage Adventure Letters is explore America with a unique letter subscription that delivers a new adventure to your mailbox each month. You climb the highest peaks, go on adventures to the heart of America's vast geographic regions, and touch the historic symbols of our great nation as you visit America's national parks, historic landmarks, national treasures, and so much more. Each month, you receive a double-sided letter written from Lizzie Jane as she explores America one stop at a time, featuring hand-drawn original artwork and lettering, a souvenir postcard featuring artwork from the letter that you keep for yourself or you mail to a friend. Now, the other one, the Heritage Letter. Imagine receiving a new letter each month from someone significant from America's great past. An explorer, a leader, a statesman, a pioneer, an inventor, a scientist, a doctor, a naturalist, an author, an artist, a hero, a heroine, a legend. The Heritage Letter is an engaging, fresh way to learn about America's history in a living, authentic way. Each month you receive a letter written from the perspective of an American legend surrounding the events of his or her life and his or her contribution to American history. A photo/fact card with a picture of the American legend and important facts regarding his or her life on the back, and an artifact such as a picture, artwork, map, or quote related to the American legend. Now I'll show you. So this is the Heritage. Okay, this is the Heritage Letter that I received. So this is just a one-page letter. I received this and the photo with the facts. Now, the second letter, the American Heritage Adventurer. Just give an idea on what it looks like. I love the artwork. Like, the artwork on this is beautiful. And then here is the postcard. Just a regular postcard. Now, the third letter subscription is, let me bring that up. Should have brought that up more. This one is from a different company, small business, and it is Letters from Afar. Here it is. Yeah. You get that. Now, join the journey. Isabel is traveling the globe, exploring the most spectacular destinations our world has to offer. At every stop, she writes you a letter to tell you about it, from the souks of Morocco to exploring castles in Germany to visiting elephants in Thailand. Follow along an unforgettable tale told through letters in the mail. Subscribe to receive a handcrafted letter every month sent to your mailbox. Letters from Afar are an entertaining, nostalgic, and refreshing different way to learn about our world. So, I'll show you what I got. I thought I was going to get one, but I don't know if that's just the thing they do when you first sign up. I received two. Here's the artwork. Oh, this is, like, guys, this is beautiful work. I'm showing you this way because of how it is, but you'll get a closer look when I read the letter. And here's the second letter. Like, the artwork on this is beautiful. And then I got this as well. I received two because I got two letters from two different destinations. Okay. Now a little back info on this. I know this is kind of a long intro, but I'm just trying to give you all the info. Alright, so this is $6 a month. If you sign up for 6 months in advance, it's $36, and it's $72 for the year, so there is no discount. Which sucks, but yeah. But portions of all the proceeds is given to a fantastic nonprofit called Pencils of Promise, so that's a beautiful thing. They mail between the 10th and the 15th of every month. Now, they say you pay $1.30 for international stamps. So if you are interested in this, they do mail internationally. And you can get, if you use the code JOURNEY, you get a 10% off on any subscription. So you can Get 10% off the monthly or the 6-month or the year plan. And we'll get started finally with the actual reading letter portion. And I'll see you at the end. Letters from Afar, the Atrium Coast, Northern Ireland. Greetings from the Emerald Isles. There's a blustery spring wind whooshing by as I wrap my scarf a bit tighter around my neck. Warmer days are near, but the last chill winter is still in the air. As I'm writing this letter, I'm sitting on top of an old, crumbling castle wall set high on the edge of a cliff. The setting sun is just about to sink into the sea, and the sky is awash with bright orange and pink. The catchy tune from the pub in Belfast is still stuck in my head as I hum out loud to myself. I cannot but smile as I think about my last few days. Let me tell you all about the majestic Atrium Coast of Northern Ireland. My journey started in Belfast, the largest city in Northern Ireland. Upon arriving, I could immediately tell that celebrations were about to occur because the shop owners are busy decorating their storefronts. St. Patrick's Day is a festive day around the globe, but in Ireland, it's an affair not to be missed. I stayed in the city that night so I wouldn't miss any of the excitement. I found a tiny old pub filled to the brim with folks enjoying the sound of fiddles and engaging in loud banter. Some were twirling around the dance floor while others indulged in some delicious Irish fare. I stayed only long enough to have a heaping plate of corned beef, cabbage, and potatoes before returning to the cobblestone streets outside. As the evening went on, there was a parade, more music, more dancing, and more eating. The celebration only seemed to get louder and happier as crowds filled the alleyways. Every person seemed to be wearing some shade of green except me. After learning about my potential streak of bad luck, I quickly handed over a few pounds for an emerald green woolen sweater. There now I fit right in. The next day I traveled up the coast to explore the countryside. Now, when one pictures Ireland, they envision rolling green hills dotted with castles and cattle. But I must say, my mind's image didn't do this place justice. It was a clear day, and the blue sky was spotted with fluffy clouds that lazily floated by. The Atrium Coast is well known as one of the most beautiful places in the world, and I believe I paid a visit on a perfect day indeed. I walked and walked down a dirt road not far from the sea. I could smell the salty air as I passed by little stone houses, castle ruins, and more than a few sheep. To me, there's just something about Ireland. It feels homey. There's an ancient feeling about it, like the stories from the centuries past live on through the land. Deep in thought, I was startled when a giant creature suddenly galloped my way. It was so large I couldn't tell that it was a dog. The gray, shaggy beast walked over to me, wagging his long tail. He stood nearly as tall as me, and he seemed quite enthused about the leftover soda bread I was snacking on. I heard a loud whistle, and the giant dog ran back over to his owner, a farmer walking up the lane. He told me the dog was an Irish wolfhound named Patrick. He's only a wee lad, still got some growing to do, said the man with a chuckle. I couldn't imagine him being any bigger. I bid them both good day, and I patted Patrick on the hat before sneaking him a nibble of my soda bread. Before long, I came upon a landmark called the Giant Causeway. I was intrigued to find very odd rock formations butting up to the ocean. Columns of hexagonal rock stairs stepped down the hill and into the water. I'd never seen anything like it. The rocks looked like they were made by the machines, each one a perfect six-sided form. Legends and myths have circulated about the Giant's Causeways for centuries. Some of them are undoubtedly imaginative, but more on that in my field notes. I did my best to sketch them for you. I spent the rest of the afternoon soaking up the springtime sun and enjoying the sound of seabirds as they soared overhead. Eventually, the lane ended, and I discovered the old castle Dunluce, where I am now. Rumor has it there's a cave beneath the castle called Mermaid's Cavern. I wonder why they would name it that. Maybe I'll explore it later, but for now, this fiery sunset is the perfect ending to this magical Irish adventure. When I catch a sunset, no matter where I am in the world, I like to think of all the reasons I am so fortunate. I most certainly feel lucky today. Perhaps it's my green sweater. And here you have the field notes. You have the boat. The Titanic was built in Belfast, the capital city of the Northern Ireland. And then you have the castle here, the big giant puppy, the Giant Causeway. The Irish tell the story of Finn McColl, an angry giant who was preparing to cross the sea to fight another giant. They say the rocks appeared when he tossed them into the ocean while trying to make a bridge. In reality, volcanic activity formed these oddly shaped rocks over millions of years. And then the map of Ireland. And they do say Northern Ireland, Irish Free State. Letter 2 from Letters from Afar. Stem Reap, Cambodia. So Sadai, hello, and Krumnai. I butchered that horribly, and I'm sorry. Greetings from the Far East. This evening, I write to you from Tonle Sap, a lake in the middle of Cambodia, which is a country between Vietnam and Thailand. I just had the most captivating few days, exploring this part of the world, a land covered in ancient ruins and temples and steeped in deep tradition. Let me tell you all about this Asian country's many marvels. My journey started when I found myself in the middle of the Cambodian countryside. All around me were rice paddies and lush tropical forests. The drone of the birds and insects was so loud I could barely hear my footsteps on the red dirt beneath me. I suddenly came to a railway track, and a quarry train cart made of bamboo came rolling up the tracks. A man was operating it, and he screeched to a halt right in front of me. "Angkor what?" he asked with a toothy grin. He was offering me a ride to the temples. "Yes, please," I answered, while handing him a few coins. He helped me aboard, offered me a rice hat and a banana, then cranked the crate forward. After moving at a snail's pace for quite some time, I began to notice tall stone towers rising above the trees. In the distance, we came to a stop, and the man waved me in the direction of a trail. After plodding through thick ferns and bramble for a bit, what stood before me was not the grand temple I expected, but a grand creature instead. A gigantic wild Asian elephant stood in my path as it calmly enjoyed some sugar cane. The magnificent beast was so beautiful, and she appeared to be quite old. Her wrinkly brown eyes met mine for a short moment before slowly leaving with a swish of her tail. She took my breath away, and I had a feeling it wouldn't be the last time on this journey. A few moments later, I finally found the trail's end and arrived at the entrance of Angkor Wat. The ancient temple complex is a world's wonder. It's believed to be around 900 years old and spans over 500 acres. I wandered around the old, crumbling stone structure for hours and admired its many statues and carvings. It was a maze of twists and turns, and occasionally I would see a Buddhist monk in his bright orange robes walking about. I visited another temple nearby called Ta Prohm, and was intrigued to find more stone structures and draped in massive old tree roots. This particular temple was very quiet and peaceful, so I sat for a moment and sketched the scene in my field notes. Suddenly, a monkey hopped down from a tree and stood right before me. He then walked toward a nearby tunnel and turned back as if asking me to follow, so I did. As the creature led me down a dark interior hallway, I lit my lantern. The furry fella stopped at a dead end, glanced at the wall, then ran away. Well, that's Well, that's odd behavior, I thought to myself. Before leaving, I took a look at the wall and was fascinated to see a phrase carved in ancient writing. I jotted it down to decipher later. That evening, I decided to venture over to the floating village of Tumney Sap Lake. The sun had long set, and my boat floated serenely across the glassy water. All around me were houses built on stilts and wooden boats filled to the brim with local goods for sales. Hand-woven baskets, palm wine, clothing, paintings, carvings, and food of all sorts. I was quite hungry, so I bought a delicious bowl of curry noodles. Oh, that sounds so good. While I sat and ate, I saw a lady nearby weaving fabric in the brightest colors. She told me it was silk from the nearby silkworm farms. I watched her masterful hands create the silky cloth and happily purchased one of her scarves for myself. It's orange and just like the monks' robes. Tonight I stay in one of the tiny floating huts and plan the route for my next adventure. The people of Cambodia will soon be celebrating the Khmer New Year, so perhaps I'll stay a little longer to join the festivals. Until my next letter, Isabel. Just doing a little bit of a close-up. Beautiful artwork, and here are the field notes. So you have the silkworm, the elephant, a big ol' what is it? Tarantula. Yeah. The ancient ruins. And here you have the map of Cambodia, or yeah. And that's it. Welcome, guys. So we start with the American Heritage Letter. Here we get a copy of kind of a lecture flyout. In the picture, Benjamin Rush, 1746 to 1813, with a timeline of his life. So let's begin. From the desk of Dr. Benjamin Rush, Philadelphia, June 11th, 1803. My dear sirs and madams, our young country stands once again on the brink of a grand new adventure, having recently purchased new territory from France. President Thomas Jefferson asked me to assist Meriwether Lewis with his preparations for the Corps of Discovery's expedition of that new land. I provided Mr. Lewis with a list of questions to help him learn about the natural history, health, and other practices of the Native Americans he will meet west of the Mississippi River. I also equipped Mr. Lewis with a list of medicines to take with him on his journey. The list included my Thunderbolts, a medicine that will help the men recover more quickly from illnesses. Today I wrote to President Jefferson with a list of short instructions to pass along to Mr. Lewis to help him preserve the health of his men during their journey. This mission is truly interesting, and Mr. Lewis appears admirably qualified to lead it. I await news of its outcome with great anticipation. It is exciting to again be involved in the growth of our country. I have worked with many men and women throughout the years to secure our nation's success. Prior to the Revolution, I joined the Sons of Liberty to unite with others seeking independence from Great Britain. I befriended many remarkable men, including George Washington, John Adams, Benjamin Franklin, and Thomas Paine. I encouraged Paine to write his book, Common Sense, which put the ideals of our revolution into simple terms that even the common man could understand. From the time I settled in Philadelphia in 1769, my shop was crowded with the poor in the morning and at meal times, and I visited nearly every street and alley in the city each day. There are a few old huts now standing in the ancient parts of the city in which I have not tended the sick. Often I ascended the upper stories of these huts by ladder, and many 100 times rested my weary limbs upon the bedside of the sick, from the wants of chairs, where I was sure I risked taking their disease. I served many wealthier patients too, but I only ever charged my patients what they were able to pay. In 1775, the citizens of Pennsylvania elected me as one of their delegates to the Continental Congress. The day I signed my name to the Declaration of Independence is one of the finest days of my life. With that cry for independence came the Revolutionary War and the call for me to put my medical education to the work in the field. As the Surgeon General for the Medical Department of the Continental Army, I practiced medicine on the battlefield. I was honored to serve with my fellow patriots in the fight. After leaving the Army, I taught medicine at the University of Pennsylvania and continued my private practice. My positions as a professor of chemistry and now as professor of the theory and practice of medicine have made me as famous amongst the well-to-do as my medical skills have made me among Philadelphia's poor. My academic presentations are well attended and provide me with numerous opportunities to share my thoughts and research on medicine. As I teach and practice medicine, my days and nights continue to be filled with study, the care of others, and the noble effort of working for a better future. My life has been one full of opportunities to serve my country and my fellow man. Nature and our ancestors have completed their work amongst us and have left us nothing to do but to enlarge and perpetuate our own happiness. Yours very sincerely, Benjamin Rush. So, let's just fold this. Here's a close-up of all of facts of his life and a picture of Benjamin Rush. Oh, and here it says October of 1807, University of Pennsylvania, lectures upon the Institutes and the Practice of Medicine and on Clinical Cases by Benjamin Rush, M.D., for Mr. William B. Goodwin. And that is the Heritage Letter subscription. Alright guys, this is the American Heritage Adventurer Letter subscription. Skagit Valley Tulip Festival. I know I'm saying that wrong. Sorry. Hello, my dear friends. Everywhere I look, color springs out of the ground. To the north, I see purples. To the east, red and yellow. To the south, white mixed with oranges. And to the west, multiple shades of pink. I am surrounded by tulips. Nestled snugly amongst one of the fields of the brightly covered bulbs stands a wooden windmill, reminiscent of the traditional windmills from the Netherlands. I stumbled across a little piece of Dutch heritage right here in the United States. Ever since I first heard about it, I've wanted to visit the Skagit Valley Tulip Festival. I'm thrilled to finally be here. The valley is located in Washington, in the lovely Pacific Northwest, surrounded by the majestic San Juan Islands and the snowy peaks of Mount Baker and North Cascades National Park. Taking its name from the Skagit River running through the region, the valley features fertile soil, plentiful rainfall, and a temperature climate which all combine to make an agricultural paradise. From the back in the crisp days of fall, before frost and freezes gripped the soil, teams of workers carefully planted tulip bulbs throughout the hundreds of acres of fields located in the valley in anticipation of spring, and the delight the flowers would bring to locals and tourists alike. The bulbs lay dormant, resting inches below the surface of the ground during the cold winter months until the warmth of spring awakened them and they began to grow. Leaves and letters, stem toppled with flower buds, pushed through the earth as they reached towards the sunlight. Days turned to weeks as they grew slowly, until the days became warm enough for the buds to reveal their brilliantly colored petals. The life cycle of bulbs is a process that's fascinated me my entire life. Standing here with my rubber boots sinking into the wet soil, I'm amazed by the beauty surrounding me. I've spent a couple of days exploring the fields, and I think I'd like to stay forever. Yesterday, I went on a trolley tour of the fields and learned more about the history of the tulip farms. Today, I attended a workshop at one of the farms where I learned all about tulips and even picked my own bouquet of flowers to take home with me. I'm enjoying exploring the local towns here, too. I'm staying in Mount Vernon, the Tulips Festival's hometown, where I've enjoyed visiting the local art galleries and eating tasty foods. Last night, I dined on seafood in the nearby town La Carner. then took a leisurely walk along the shops lining the shores of the Salish Sea. Tonight I'm going on a photography tour of the tulip fields during the golden hours when the sunlight will cast a warm golden glow of the softened sunlit over the fields. I can't wait to see how magnificent the flowers will look in the soft, diffused light just before the sunset. Are there any flower festivals where you live? You should visit one of them if you can. After seeing the Skagit Valley Tulip Festival, I'm planning to visit every flower festival I can find. Lizzie Jane. Beautiful artwork, guys. And here is the postcard matching the back. And that is the American Heritage Adventure Letter. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that. New subscriptions. I'm not going to bombard you, tongue twister, with too many letter subscription videos. Essentially, you're going to get 3 a month. One is going to be the romantically written one. This second one will be this one, which will include the 2 Heritage Letter and the American Heritage Adventure. I'm probably saying that wrong. Yeah, that's actually right. American Heritage Adventure Letter and the Letters from Afar. Those 3 will be included in one single video. And I did sign up for 3 more other letter subscription, but this one, all 3 are under the same company. So that would be a single video. So three videos a month will be letter subscriptions, but I've been getting into them because it's super cool, honestly. Honestly, it's fun for me to read about this. It's more interesting this way, because I remember when I was in school and learning American history was boring. I mean, yes, I know I was born and raised here and I live here, and but God, it's boring learning about American history. Like, oh, and 16 something and 14 like, and this man is like, is so dry and cut. It's boring. So this is a great way for me to kind of relearn American history, but you're learning about different people, different key players of the past. And the Letters from Afar, love it because I love traveling. I love traveling. If it wasn't for the pandemic, I would have traveled to probably 1 or 2 different places already. But no, that stopped me. And the other one, the American Heritage Adventure, it's great. It's exploring different parts of the United States. You know, visiting, as if you're visiting the different states and what they offer. So I really love this. I hope you enjoy it. I will link the 2 sites down below in the description box if you're interested in signing up for this. I personally think this is great. And like I said, the American Heritage one, both of those subscriptions do have a digital copy. So if you don't want to wait in the mail, you can sign up for the digital and it's cheaper on top of that. So I highly recommend this, guys. I really do. It's something different. It's not makeup, and I'm happy about that because I have more than enough makeup anyway. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!